Hello, everybody. Welcome to live readings. Today we are doing readings live on the channel. So, for anyone who hasn't been here for one of these, what we do is I read the charts. There's a link in there's a link pinned to the top of the chat. Oh, let me make sure there really is one there. Let me see. There is a link. Is it pinned to the chat is the question. It will be very soon. Okay, so it is now pinned to the top of the chat. So for anyone joining, hey, how are you guys doing? How was your eclipse? Today we're doing live readings. They're first come, first served. And there is one already booked. Chihiro is first, and whoever books second will be second, and so on. If you book your reading today, your reading will get read during this live broadcast, and you get to pick between 3 different topics. So the topic 1 is blocks, where I look at your natal chart and tell you what I see as your biggest challenge. Topic 2 is blessings, where I look at your chart and tell you the blessings of your Jupiter or your Venus or anything else that stands out to me right away. But usually it's one of those 2. And topic number 3 is transits. So when you click the link, it will let you book. The booking will say something like 1 p.m. Pacific time. You can kind of ignore that because if I put it to right now, then a minute later it won't show up because my scheduler will say it's past the time. And so that is why it is scheduled for just a couple hours in advance so that the scheduler doesn't take it off. And that gives us some freedom to go as long as we go. So what else do I want to share with you at the moment? Oh, I have a pretty big sale right now on my Midheaven persona chart. I should give you guys a link to that too for anyone who wants that. It's quite a big sale. Yeah, I'm going to give you guys a link to that and let me know how you're feeling, everybody in the chat. Are you guys feeling like still under that eclipse energy of transitions and turning points? Are you feeling like you have more clarity since the last week has happened? Are you feeling really energized? I think the moon's applying to Neptune until like 12:30, so at least an hour from now, my time, wherever you are, it'll be a different different time of day. But yeah, sometimes you just can't be bothered to do anything when that happens, and you just don't have the energy or the momentum, and you feel kind of just like laying in bed and watching sci-fi movies or something. Okay, I was going to find this link and I did not. I started chatting and rambling instead. Shout out to everyone who has just been a supporter of this channel. There are so many of you over the years who have gone out of your way to join these lives and tell me to keep going, and all the other ways that you guys have supported. So thank you. I'm pasting this link right now, so it's in there as well. Okay, so let's start with Chihiro. Chihiro is first. Anyone else jumping on can be next. And they go in the order they were received. So I need to see, what did you pick? Wait, did you pick? It didn't make you pick? I have to see. Yeah, I don't think you got the option either, which means I messed something up. So that's annoying. Because I have to fix that. Yep, I messed it up. So do you want to just tell me, Chihiro, I can change this now for everyone else, but do you want to just let me know what you would prefer? David, you click the link at the top that's pinned to the chat, and then you book it. So these ones are paid readings you can purchase. The very top, there's another link in there. Don't click that one. Actually, I'm just going to take that off because I'll do that later. I'll just put it in the description later. Yes. Okay. Transits, perfect. Okay, so we have Chihiro here. And this is your chart already up. And we're going to do transits. So the transits are for everyone else. They're going to be the transits of this moment in time. But sometimes we go to the past or we talk about the future depending on whatever is most relevant. Okay, so I'm getting my timer. And, well, right now Venus is on your midheaven. So that's what jumps out. And for you, Venus rules your 5th house of fun and your, what else? 10th house of career. Did you get some kind of bonus? Are you getting a bonus? Is there something nice, like a gift from a friend? Maybe you already said that in the chat. Either way, it would be a nice day if you like to go out and look pretty, like get dressed up and go out if you're one of those people. This would be a nice day for that because Venus is on the midheaven. So it's like you could just enjoy your friends today or have fun or put something creative out into the world. That's just today. But Mars on the descendant. Now, this one's can be, it can stimulate your relationships. It can be challenges with, if you are in a relationship, Chihiro, it can be when Mars is going through your 7th, sometimes you are bickering with your partner a bit more. There's more to argue about during that transit. But if you do not have a significant other, this is probably just other people. Other people in your life might either be more argumentative or they might be trying to motivate you, or you might be around other people and they're doing Martian things, like you're around people who are working out or something. But overall, Mars going through the 7th, I would say it can speed up relationships. So especially if there's people out there, right? Because this is like a water trine from Mars to Venus to, to Saturn, which, we don't love that part. But, and it's like, it's really hitting these two angles. So I really think there's something about this moment that's going to be more, maybe a heightened level of emotional awareness. Maybe irritated with my roommate lately. Yeah. Okay. So today might be a day where that's possibly a continued theme, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, someone in your home, Mars, is bothering you. Yeah. If I had this and I was irritated with my roommate, I'd probably just try to go out of the house today, just because it's like it's kind of the most the strongest that it's been would have been a couple days ago. So that might begin to fade. What else can I tell you that's good and interesting? Jupiter's in your 6th house that can help you solve your problems. So that can be like paying bills, or it can be like running errands. And that's a year-long transit. So from last June till about next June, roughly, we're seeing more of an ability to solve problems, find the right supplements if you're having health issues, or just improve your life, right? You can improve your life or improve your habits when Jupiter's in the 6th. And because Jupiter rules your 12th house, it can actually also, I think, maybe be helping you see if you have subconscious fears, kind of bringing them into everyday life or doing everyday things to overcome those fears. Okay, what else is happening? Well, let's see. Let's see what else. Neptune is on Venus right now. So again, this can be, Chihiro, do you do any kind of creative work, or are you self-employed or anything? Because if yes, Neptune can be making that sphere of life be a bit more confusing. It can make you unsure of your next steps if you want to have your own business, or as far as like what you're putting out to the world. If you're not doing anything like that, then that doesn't apply. Neptune can actually, if you have any kind of issue with like allowing pleasure or something like that, Neptune can also help ease that and soften that ability. Although with Venus ruling the 5th house and being in Pisces, I'm feeling like you're probably just fine with that, under that, in that respect, I should say. Pluto's going to hit your south node. Okay, I think that one matters. Pluto has been on your south node. So it might be feeling in the last even year off and on, like, just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like you need to overcome money problems. South node in the 2nd house will make it, sometimes it can be a little harder to hold on to money because that South node is ascetic, so it wants to be like a monk, but it's in the house of money where you need the material possessions, so you don't want the material possessions. With Neptune here, that just, increases that more. With Uranus here, this makes you more likely to want to be a freelancer or want to do work that is, freelance tutoring. See, you said that right when I was saying it. Okay, so yeah, like, I don't think Pluto's going to make it worse. I think Pluto might actually bring more attention to the need to figure out how to handle that stuff. So then back to Neptune. If Neptune hitting Venus is doing this, then the good news, you can still work with this transit while that's happening. Neptune's not going to stop that, but it could make it harder to know when you're on the right track and harder to know when you're not. And so it's really good to get outside opinions, to take a step back and look at it rationally when you're trying to move forward with the book or trying to move forward with Jiro's saying when Pluto, let me see. Yeah, when Pluto entered Aquarius, it kickstarted so much growth in how I handle money. Yeah. So I think it'll help with that. I think it's going to help offset some of that natural tendency to be like, I want to live in a mountain without money and be a monk and not care about all of the things. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what South Node in the 2nd will do to you, right? But like you need to care about those things, right? Because you got to eat and stuff. So I think Pluto is going to actually help with that. And what else? Yeah, well, and Venus is still in the 11th house right now. So if you are, let me look here. I'm just thinking about that book you just talked about. Let me think. I think it would make sense that right now, Jupiter's just kind of helping you. Maybe Jupiter's helping you write the book, right? Like doing something, putting out some kind of work that while you're in the process of doing that, you are not getting paid to do that. Also, I do want to say you have Venus exalted in Pisces. This is natal. And it rules your 5th house. So like, absolutely, I say absolutely yes on writing a book, just because planets in the 3rd house do represent writing. And then you have Jupiter in Taurus and Venus in Pisces. So that's a mutual reception between those. And you have the moon in Taurus in the 5th. The moon is exalted. I don't like that Saturn and Mars are also here. But I still feel like you just have a lot of energy in your chart that makes me feel like writing would, I can't guarantee it'll be successful, but that like it would be an aligned thing to be doing. So if there was any question about that, okay, so let me see if I missed anything. Yeah, I think that let me tell you about a good upcoming transit I see maybe for writing or for something else nice. I do think when Venus gets to the end of Scorpio and it trines over to your natal Venus, I'm looking at mid-October. I'm not predicting like lottery wins or anything, but it might just be a nicer time. Writing might flow a little bit easier, or you might find that just there's something more enjoyable. There's some kind of gift or blessing coming in because Venus trine Venus. So I'm going to leave you with that. Something good to look forward to. Okay, so we are going to go to our next person. Chihiro, go ahead. Yeah, you can buy an extra one for blessings if you want. That's going to be your natal chart, like what blessings you have in your chart. So we'll look at your Venus and your Jupiter and what it, like how it blesses you, kind of. Okay, so I think we have new bookings. So let's see who's next here. And let me take this down for a second. Oh, let's take this down. Let's take this down for a moment while I enter more charts. And anyone jumping on, you guys can still join. That link in the top is there anytime you want to book. Okay, so next we have Marlon, and then we have Leia. Okay, so did I fix it? Yes, I fixed it. Yes, okay. So Marlon, I'm going to add you. Into my charts here. And let me know in the chat if you're here. Okay. Mara's here. Okay, great. Okay, so let's get your chart up. And then, Chihiro, I got your second one. Okay. Let me get set up for you and okay. So we're on Marlin and we're doing blessings. So that's going to be the blessings in your natal chart that you can work with. Immediately Jupiter in the 5th. Okay, so this is nice because it's going to be, you can flirt, you can flirt and you can be charming because you have, you have Mars, Venus. Now this isn't the tightest conjunction, but it's a conjunction. So people with Mars, Venus in any aspect are usually quite charming. Where did my screen just go? Oh my gosh. Okay. Usually quite charming and can really like get people, like, especially, Jupiter is square Mars, Venus. It just feels like this is going to be your ability. Jupiter is going to help your ability to make things go your way, because that fifth house is your ability to like make what you want to happen in life. And so Jupiter helps. Jupiter is going to assist with this. And then the sun, which rules that fifth house, is at the top of the chart conjunct the midheaven. Not only can you make things go your way, you can get credit for it. Do you feel like, Marlon, in your career up until now, you've experienced that yet, where when you want to do a project or you want to have a certain job, you get it? Let me know. Yeah, see? Yeah, I use my charm as a salesman. Yes, okay. I love this. These are so fun. Okay, so that's a gift you can use in any other capacity you want, right? Because that and sometimes this will show up in relationships, right? Where it's like people with Mars, Venus usually have an active love life, and they also usually have some drama that goes with it, because those things are like, they just go hand in hand. But the good side here, even though sometimes there's challenges with relationships, then it's not usually like, someone with Mars, Venus in their chart usually isn't the type who like gets married in high school and stays with the same person their whole life. They usually have more going on than that. And it's usually like, usually they just have more going on. They see more people, they have more relationships and breakups and crazy ex stories and stuff. But the gift here is that you can actually use that to your advantage by using that charm, that magnetism, however you want. And with Mars and Scorpio, also, I would say Mars, Venus, and Scorpio in the 8th, you probably can really cut through the BS with people pretty easily. Mars and Scorpio is good at confrontation. So when you need to say no to someone, you can. So that's another strength of this Mars. And Venus makes it so that when you do say no to someone, it's like they are gonna like you still, that kind of thing. Okay, so then what else can Jupiter, let's go back to Jupiter, 12th house and 9th house. Okay, so 9th house means if you travel, if you study a foreign language, if you have taken courses, if you have learned like deep spiritual truths, if you have, hold on, I want to check something here. Da, 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 da. One second. Okay, so then let me see where I was going with this. 9th house stuff can help you even more so to continue that theme of getting what you want out of life. And, Jupiter in the 5th already is quite, and Jupiter and Leo are both quite like, you have a chart of someone who kind of wants to like get the most out of life and can do it, especially, Sun in Capricorn up at the top of the chart. Aries rising tend to want to initiate things and be active, and Jupiter in Leo and in the 5th house is like, let's have more fun. Let's enjoy life more. Let's make more money so we can buy more stuff. Let's sell more. It's just like, it's just about not just, but like having fun and enjoying life is going to be a total possibility. Do not think that because Jupiter's retrograde that means something bad about it. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It just tells us that your 9th house of the path to God or spirituality, and your path with 12th house stuff, which is like psychology, spiritual stuff, things you don't really see. I mean, you don't have planets here, so I wouldn't be too worried. But that those things are going to have an impact on how much you enjoy your life, but also those areas of life will have more of a winding road. So you may find you have some beliefs and then you release them, especially with South Node in the ninth, to pursue something that is different, or you have a belief system and then you do a new belief system and then you come back to the old one or something along those lines. And that can be any ninth house topic: travel, astrology, studying, college, higher education, publishing. And with the North Node in the third, I wonder if you want to teach, like if you want to teach sales, or if you ever wanted to teach something to people like the beginner level or make it really easy for them. I think that North Node in the third would really speak to that. Also, just a little more on the blessings of Venus in the eighth are going to be really, I think you could probably read people. I think you're probably like a natural lie detector. I think you can make very deep connections with people on first glance. Also, there's a little more about this Mars in the eighth that is more of a challenging type of thing, but Venus helps. So it's like you might really like occult matters. You might really want to go into psychology, or no, maybe psychology is part of how you are a salesperson, right? Because like I'm sure you know that helps. It feels like you might have a deep interest in understanding how people are the way they are. With Mars in the eighth, sometimes you can see people with this placement be counselors. I'm not saying you have to go do that, but sometimes what happens is people will come to you with their crises, and usually you can help, or you can at least be able to be around darker topics in life without getting scared. And this is why sometimes Mars in the eighth gets the reputation of death, okay? But it's because it's like you have the ability to cope with deeper, darker things. So that can be a gift. And also then what happens is when the people have someone die, they call you. So that's where like the whole reputation of that comes from. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's good for now. And I hope you enjoyed your reading, and let me know if that resonates. Okay. So this is cool. You said becoming a sales mentor was presented to me by my team recently. Okay. Yeah. I think sometimes with North Node in the third, it's like teaching the fundamentals of a thing, or teaching it to total beginners, or teaching really advanced stuff, but making it simplified. Not everyone with North Node in the third will teach, but that does feel like it would make a lot of sense for you in terms of just that aspect as well. So I'm going to stop there just because the timer went off a while ago. And thank you for booking, Marlon. And we're going to go to our next person, which is going to be Leah. All right. So for anyone else watching who wants to know if they can have a turn. Oh, and I see this. Yes. I'm not sure what that was for, but great. What do you mean, Marlon? Okay, so the next person is going to be, like I said, Leia. And then after Leia is Chihiro. And then we are open. So anyone thinking about booking today, you can book using the link at the top of the chat, and you will be third. Okay, so Leia, let's get your chart in here. Let me see. Okay, and then you chose transits. Okay, perfect. Okay, so wait, I thought I already, yeah, I did. Marlon, the way I do these is you have to pick one of the three. So that is what, that's it. Oh, good to hear. I'm glad. Okay, I'm entering this. I'm entering Leia's chart. Leia, are you here? Do you want to chat in the comments while I enter your chart so I know who I'm talking to? That's not required. If you guys are like doing something, you can always just happy birthday. You can always just book it and listen later or whatever. Okay, so let's get Leia's chart up here. Okay, so Leia, if you're here, say hello, and I'm just going to go ahead with the transit report for you. And that is up. It is showing. And what do we see? What do we see? Solar returns, so that's cool. Okay, so Helena, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but you are next. Okay, back to Leia. Leia, I'm starting your timer now. And okay, Mars in the first is going to be a time where you tend to be more busy. Now that can just be you're working out more. It could be you have more to do. It could be you have people coming after you, people challenging you more. And because Mars rules your 10th house, it might be good stuff with work. It might be career growth makes you busier right now. It could be challenging stuff with work where it's like just work you have to do is making you busier right now. And I don't know if I think I should have said 10th house ruler because your midheaven's ruled by Jupiter. So you might be busier, even doing more work behind the scenes. With Jupiter in your 12th house, the blessings, you have to look for those blessings when Jupiter is transiting here because it'll help you understand spiritual things. It will help you, especially with Jupiter ruling the 9th house while Saturn is there. Saturn in the 9th, sometimes you're a little more pessimistic about the topic of faith or spirituality. And okay, cool, Leia. I see that you're here. Yeah, so sometimes it's like Saturn transiting here can be a little bit of a downer, but also sometimes you're learning things or stepping up to get ready for a next stage in your career or a next level of responsibility in your career, which tends to happen usually when Saturn hits the 10th house, but you do have Saturn hitting your midheaven. Now, sometimes that's like in a year. I should clarify that. Yeah. Less than a year, but it's like you're slowly moving toward this possible moment of heightened responsibility. Sometimes that will slow things down a bit, but either way, right now I see a time of kind of being busy with work type stuff. And Jupiter in the 12th, bringing more solutions, bringing more possibilities and insight and growth into your spiritual life, and maybe even just allowing you more time out. Like, to use Jupiter in the 12th, you gotta be by yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to get the benefits of that potential soul growth, because it's like the wisdom's going to come during the meditation. Have you been meditating more since June? Or found more spiritual insights or found spiritual books that you can read by yourself at this time, because that could be a good thing. Jupiter also tried your sun. I'm going to go back in time to tell you what was happening then. That was back in, I think, July. Yeah, Jupiter was making a trine to your sun in July, and that's your money planet. Did you get a bonus back then or a raise or something? And let's see if it goes that far back. I don't know if it does. Yeah, so that means that whatever that was, that positive growth financially, we see this same energy returning around March, mid-March. So, maybe if that was a bonus, then maybe this is an additional bonus or something like that. Okay, so that's something good to look forward to. Jupiter only makes a trine to the sun like that. It's going to be twice every 12-year period. So that's something to appreciate from Jupiter, upcoming blessing. Venus right now is in your 5th house. That can help you enjoy creativity. If you are dating, it can help with dating. It can just bring a little bit more of something nice. This is more of a right now, this is happening kind of a thing. And what else do I see? I see Mars squaring the sun, and this was more exact back on the end of September. So were you really, really busy? Were you being challenged at that time? Did you have to overcome something? Were you working harder to make money? The sun is your money planet. So you could have actually, Mars can stimulate in a positive way, like putting stress on you, but then you make more money as a result, or even just dealing with your stuff in your house, like selling things or polishing your furniture, whatever it is you do with your possessions to take care of them or deal with them. Sometimes it's even just more energy being exerted in the home or dealing with what you have, what you own, cooking more even, right? Because the 2nd house is your food too. So let me see what else is like super significant. Okay, like if you were feeling, I'm curious, this would have been a while ago actually, but it's standing out to me, so maybe it's something that can help. Did you have a lot of confusion in your career back around 2022, March of 2022? March, April, May of 2022? If yes, that's like, wait, go back to now. It's like faded or about to fade. So if there's any still lingering feeling like I don't know if I'm on the right path, Neptune for the most part is going to continue to move away from that midheaven. And I think you're going to get more clarity if that's something you've been wanting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not quite meditation. Perfectly. Yeah. So trying to take more space to be with myself, not quite meditation. That's a great thing to be doing, because what happens is once Jupiter goes into your 1st house, which is going to be, I think, June-ish. Let's look at the date on this because I keep talking about it. It might be sooner. Nope, it's June. June of 2025. Jupiter's going into your 1st house. You'll get the most out of Jupiter, and I'll tell you, we'll end here. I'll tell you the last time Jupiter was in your 1st house, and it won't be exactly the same, but it'll give you kind of an idea of what your baseline is from when Jupiter goes here. That was from July of 2013 to roughly July of 2014. What new beginnings were happening, what positive things were related to, spirituality or work or solving problems was happening, because that whole theme is going to show up again. And during that whole next year, you'll have a trine to Mercury, which rules your third house and your, 12th house. You'll get a trine to Mars, which rules your fifth house of creativity and self-expression and having your own business if you have one. And it also rules your 10th house of career. So if you're like trying to grow in your career, I do see that around, I'm looking at the past right now, but that there is potential for that in the next year. So I'm going to stop there just because of time. Okay, great, Leah. In July, I got new clients and potential collaborations that are still working out details. Okay, so I see that theme continuing on that date that I gave you. So that's a good thing to look forward to. And we're going to go on to the next one. So thank you, Leah, for booking. And going on now to Chihiro's second one. So let's find you. Oops, I should not have shown that. Yes. Best of luck, Leah. Thank you. Helena is here. Perfect. Helena? I don't know. So I'll just do my best with it. Thank you for being so gracious. If any of you have not seen me do lives before, I will mess up your name. It's guaranteed. I mess up everybody's name. I can say everything else, but I just can't pronounce people's names. I'll say them the most wrong way you can say them. Okay, back to what we're doing next. Chihiro and then Helena. Okay, so Chihiro's second one was, what was it? Transits? I know. I did call Chihiro Chiriho on a live in the past. And so now that's going to be our running joke. For anyone who doesn't know why that comment is in the chat, it belongs there. All right. Oh, this was for blessings. Okay. All right. So we're looking at the natal chart and looking what blessings you have, Chihiro. And I'm seeing, Venus in Pisces really is quite a nice thing, right? Because Venus is exalted in Pisces. You also have the moon exalted in Taurus. So even though Saturn's there in the same sign and Mars, the moon can withstand those a lot better because it's in its best place, and it has Jupiter between as a buffer, like buffering the connection. So Jupiter's taking more of the hits from Mars and Saturn. And so let's talk about what that means for you in your life and what gifts you have. Number one, I would say the gift of Venus in Pisces is usually creativity and lovely expression. It's in your third house of writing. So this is where we see what kind of writing style a person has. And Pisces does tend to bring a nice element of ease and flow to the personality with Mercury and Pisces. This one is, if you study traditional astrology, it's considered not well placed because it's at fall and in detriment here. But Mercury and Pisces is amazing at telling stories. They're amazing at metaphors. They're amazing at kind of using language to transport people to another world. And so writing, to me, for someone with this chart, I would just say do it, right? Just incredible ability to kind of again, like have the magicalness and the like fantasy, or the just weaving a story and having the creative imagery is going to be really, really strong. Okay, so let's look at the chart ruler. The chart ruler is Saturn. It's in the fifth house. So this really shows your focus in life is going to be a lot on fifth house, which is creativity and self-expression. And at the same time, though, I think Mars here will make this an area of life that maybe you had to work to uncover, especially with Saturn conjunct the IC. It gives me the feeling of a childhood where it was like you can be seen and not heard. You're not supposed to talk. You're not supposed to even exist, but the sun in the fourth house makes that better. But there was probably still some kind of limitation of your creativity when you were young, or maybe even structure. It's possible that showed up as structure. Moon in Taurus usually can make money. They usually desire a lifestyle where there is security and stability. The moon is exalted in Taurus, so this is a great moon. And the moon for you also rules your, why can't I find Cancer? Your seventh house of relationships. Now with Mars, Saturn here, it's not going to be all good, but it is your ability to be resilient in the face of some relationship challenges is strong. Also, when the seventh ruler is in the fifth, this is usually good for relationships. So I don't know, Chihiro, if you are in a relationship or not, but it does feel like relationships are going to have challenges, and they're also going to help make your life better. Okay. Sun in Aries usually is good for getting things done, because you can see this helps offset some of this Taurus and Pisces. Because if you only had Taurus and Pisces, sometimes this is not the most ambitious combination in the whole world. It's hard to get stuff done for people who have a bunch of Pisces stuff, especially. But Pisces and Taurus together, what they excel at is enjoying life and receiving. And what they don't necessarily want to do is initiate. So you have this sun in Aries, offsetting that in a positive way. What else? Ooh, I see something. Let me see. Let me check something. I see something. Yeah. This is the real thing that I'm going to tell you about. Your ascendant is conjunct a fixed star called Vega. And that fixed star called Vega rules the arts and enchantment. So sometimes I see it in the charts of people who are architects, or we see it in the charts of a lot of creative people who are famous for singing, especially. And so this can just be not just. This can be writing. This can be singing. This can be any other kind of creative endeavor. Vega really, really gives an enchantment to the creative work that you do. So I think that's a really, really nice thing that, not everyone has a single fixed star, right? So that's a special part of your chart that is important. Yeah. And so I really just love that for you. And what you say about finding love in your 40s, even with career, because Mars rules your midheaven and it's conjunct Saturn, it's almost guaranteed that you could have more potential to have any kind of success in Mars ruled areas, which is career and home life, like family or your house even, later in life. But it kind of does, right? Because Saturn will stop restricting you after the age of about roughly 38, depending on your transits and stuff. It doesn't guarantee the day you turn 39, everything's better. But that, as you age, life gets better, not worse. Things open up, not close down. So things that didn't work in the past, whether it be relationship stuff with the moon in the same sign, or whether it be your writing, right? Because Jupiter rules writing. It's conjunct Mars and Saturn, which means you'll want to do it more, but you also will feel like you can't publish it or something. It'll be, you'll want to do it, but you won't be able to when you're young. Or you won't be able to go a certain level with it when you're younger. So any of those things that happened when you were younger, I want you to imagine it's a blank slate from now ahead on everything, pretty much, because there's a lot of stuff these planets rule. So I'm going to stop there because of time. I hope that was helpful, and I wish you the best. Singing is my medicine. Oh, see, singing is my medicine. Another freelance dream of mine is singing at weddings. Yeah, I do think that with that fixed star on your ascendant, it would make so much sense. So yeah, go for it. See what happens. All right. So the next person we have is going to be Heliana. And readings are still open for booking after that. So if you are just joining and you would like to book, you can. There is a link at the top of the chat that you can use. Okay, so we are going to go to I'm going to add in this new chart, and that is what we are doing. Okay. So we have your chart in and you chose blocks. So we're going to talk about blocks. So what I do for the blocks is, I will do the biggest block I see or the most significant block I see based on your chart, and then tell you everything I can about it. Okay, so we're going to do this. Oh, Chihiro, that's so nice. Okay. So for blocks, let me just scan the chart here. Okay, so starting now. Okay, so what I see first is your moon conjunct Saturn. So immediately, you've probably worked on this, right? But like, it makes me feel like maybe being raised in a situation where you could not express your feelings and learning early on that it's not safe to be vulnerable, or that you can't talk about how you feel. And it doesn't mean you can't do that now, but that there's something a lot around just kind of getting that message that, like, not to express your emotions too openly. Now, normally people with their moon in Capricorn don't really want to do that anyway. They don't usually want to be all needy and cry and stuff. They usually want to be more tough and more strong, and they don't want to really be around too much drama. And since the moon rules the 6th house, this could be challenges with having to work really hard when you're young, or have a lot of chores, or have a lot of discipline nobody sees, that you're like, I almost feel like you would like go to school and then you get home and you do a bunch of chores, but nobody would know or something. So let me know if any of that makes sense. But because the moon rules your sixth house and it's kind of locked away in this 12th house with Saturn restricting it, it makes me feel like you could have just had to do a lot of chores, or you find in your life that there's a lot of work to be done. But at the same time, you have Jupiter in Cancer helping this whole dynamic, making this challenge better, because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. And it is here. This is interesting because the Chiron, because then we have Chiron. So it's like, do you feel like you're the one who has to do all the work, or you're the one who has to do all the chores or something? Yeah, okay, I find it difficult to show emotions. Absolutely would think that 1000%. And I wouldn't even tell someone with this chart, like, go try to do it. I would just acknowledge that this is not an easy sphere of life, because the moon in Capricorn has a gift here of being able to sacrifice and to set aside your emotions. The challenge is sometimes you don't necessarily have an easy time figuring out what you need, right? Like if you need time off, are you going to say, I don't need that? Like, and I don't mean because you think, oh, I should take time off, but I don't deserve it. I mean, because it doesn't even cross your mind in the first place. And then you get sick, or then something happens and you have to go and take some time out. There is this opposition between Jupiter and Neptune and Uranus here in the 12th. Jupiter in the 6th kind of shows me a life pattern or a life theme here of working really hard, or diving into work, diving into chores, diving into taking care of family, diving into helping people in need and wanting to help the homeless or wanting to help the most unfortunate people, and putting all your energy into that. Even just like, I almost imagine someone who is like in a 12-step program and they're like at every single meeting and always helping. And then there's a shift in energy, and then you're going to go be by yourself and go be in isolation for a while, and then come back and jump back into working. Sometimes this will show the theme of your life, where you're working a job for a while, and then you are, I don't know, at home, or you are on a trip, or you're in isolation for some reason. And then you go back and you engage with society and life again, and then for some reason you end up either having time off again, or not working again, or something like that. And so there's this general life energy and pattern here of like diving into one and diving into the other. This is not really the easiest block to dissect, because what happens when planets are in the 12th house is you can't always see them clearly. And so, and with Chiron in the 6th also, I almost get the feeling like you'll do work, or you'll get in a job, and then people with Chiron in the 6th usually feel like their work isn't treated like it's important, or their work isn't treated like it's significant, or they don't get recognized for the hard work they put in. Those kind of things. But still, Jupiter helps. So it's like you need to do some work or some things that help other people in order to be happy in life, but it's going to trigger that Chiron wound of either nothing I do matters, or it doesn't accomplish enough with the moon in Capricorn. Do you feel like the work that you've done in your life doesn't accomplish enough? That's the question I'd really like to know with this, because I think that that's probably the block. And it might not be because you're not accomplishing it enough. It might be because the moon is unable to see the accomplishments, or there's, it's like as soon as you climb the mountain, well, there's another mountain. And also I'm noticing that in the chart, because you're an Aquarius rising, Saturn is also you. So you're here in the 12th house with these emotions that you feel like you can't access or something. Yes. So yes, I feel that. Okay. So I think that, that's really the biggest block in the chart that I'm like drawn to. If you were to ask about other areas, of course, like in future readings, we can look at those too. But another thing too is the sun in the 4th. I have this one as well. The sun in the 4th does not necessarily get have an easy time getting attention for things. The sun in the fourth can tend to like just not feel like they get recognized and something like that. Okay, so and recently due to stress, a lot of workload. Okay, yeah, a chronic illness. Okay, that's why it was interesting for me. Okay, yeah, I think that when we're looking, okay, well, one positive thing related to illness is that when you have Jupiter in the sixth, Jupiter doesn't always like guarantee perfect health, but it can help. It can help you find solutions faster to health related problems. I'm not giving any kind of medical advice here, but Jupiter can help. And I feel like I just gave you a lot of bad news. So let me think about this. What can I tell you? I do think that with the moon in Capricorn, you can definitely work with this one. It does have a lot of strengths, which is that the hardworking nature is strong, but sometimes you might have to really put some, like retrain your brain in certain ways to let it be okay to take a break, or let it be okay to de-stress, or let it be okay to take some time out, because yeah, that's like that because of that. Now, I do see another positive thing here. So let's end on this positive note. You have the sun trine the moon. So usually when people have the sun trine the moon, that means there's more of an easier time. There's an easier relationship within yourself between your wants and your needs. So the moon is the needs, the sun is the desires, the external desires. So like someone with a really messed up sun moon situation will want something that would make them upset. You know, it's like they'll want to be famous, but they need privacy. And they won't be, like, they'll have to work to be able to reconcile which part of that self to listen to. Because your sun is in Taurus and your moon is in Capricorn, your wants and your needs are a lot of material possessions. There is a need for achievement. So there is a need for achievement in the chart, and it's there. But the ability to climb the mountain at the pace that's right for you, that's the part that I see being the stressor. It's like making yourself go faster than you can go up the mountain, or even choosing a bigger mountain than you can climb. So yeah, I hope that helps. And yeah, there's a little more we could cover with this if it wasn't a public reading. So just know that there's stuff you can do to work with this moon. The one thing I would say that and everyone with the moon in the 12th or 12th house planets should be getting a certain amount of quiet time. You literally need it to see these areas of life clearly. So, and then, you know, with sun in the fourth, it doesn't mean you can never be recognized. It just means it's not a natural, easy thing that automatically will happen. It's something that you'll have to, sometimes you have to go out of your way to get that recognition, or you might need help from someone else who has, you know, a different kind of chart where it's like, you might need someone else to promote you or something. So feel free to apply that to your situation however it fits. And at this point, normally I would go on to the next one, but I think we are done for the day. So let me check. And for anyone on the live now, I'll give you guys 5 more minutes to keep booking before I take the link down, and it will be closed for today. So I want to say thank you to everyone who booked today, which is, let's go through it. That was Chihiro, Marlon, Leia, Chihiro again, and Heliana. So thank you all for booking. When you guys do this, it really helps. It really does help the channel to keep existing. It helps me to make content for the monthlies and to spend more time on it. So thank you all for that. And I do have some other things. One is, I was going to do this earlier. I did this earlier and then I undid it because I got worried about it. I do currently have a sale right now on my midheaven persona chart. So I'm going to put a link in the description. In the chat. Do you want to do blessings, Helena? Okay, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Actually, I think what I'll do, I'm going to put that in the description, not the chat. So it doesn't get confusing. Okay, so Helena booked, which means if anyone else wants to book and hasn't gotten to, you guys now have more time. Okay, so let's do blessings. This will be fun. This will be nice. You've got some really lovely blessings here with the Jupiter in Cancer, right? Because Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. And so again, that's going to give you your ability to solve day-to-day problems is going to be really great. That could show up at your work where you're just problem solving, and people really appreciate it. It could be at home where something breaks, you just hire the handyman and it's fixed. It can show up in stuff like that. Also, Jupiter in the 6th can also be like, you want to research supplements, or you care a lot about nutrition, or you want to cook all the time, right? Because it's in Cancer, or you're good at taking care of everyone. Feel free to let me know if one of those resonates more than the other. But another thing is Jupiter is your money planet. Your money planet, even though it's in the 6th house, and they say that the 6th house isn't a good house, it's exalted, so that helps it withstand the 6th house challenge. And it also makes a square to a planet in the money house. It's a wide square, but still. So you have 3rd house ruler in the 2nd. Okay, so here's the thing. I would say you're probably good at making money, but do you spend all your money? It's fine if you do. Mars in the 2nd has a hard time not spending money. That it really stimulates your desire to buy stuff when you have money. But Jupiter in the 6th means you're probably a good earner. Let me know if that feels true. But also, the 2nd house is also the food you eat. So it could be that you really know how to find really high quality food at the grocery store, or you know what ingredients are in your food, and you care about the culinary experience, and you want it to have a balanced flavor profile and stuff. It could be that as well. Other blessings from Jupiter. Let's see. Jupiter sextiles Mercury in the 4th. And Mercury rules your 5th house, and it rules your 8th house. So the 5th house is going to be more of a significant thing. Don't worry that it's retrograde. Jupiter sextiling Mercury in the 4th makes you, first of all, Mercury in the 4th is like, when you're at home, you can journal, and each time you can get more like insight, contemplating is going to really be something maybe you enjoy doing. And also with the Sun and Mercury in the 4th house, people with 4th house planets have a good awareness of emotions and emotional foundations, and of like being able to see people deeply, right? The Sun in the 4th isn't good at getting recognition for themselves, but they are great at shining the light on other people's emotional state and well-being. And sometimes you can just say the exact thing someone needs to feel better. And wait, what was the I don't know which thing you're saying yeah to. But you can really like see things deeply. The Sun in the 4th is insightful, And in Taurus, it's practical. So sometimes you might give people practical advice, how to solve their problems, and you might just know what to do. Maybe that's what the he was for. The sun also rules your 7th house of relationships. So really, really great at when you do get to know someone. It's like you see them. You see them fully and you see them all the way. And that is definitely a gift of the sun. Jupiter makes that Mercury better though. So Mercury is that 5th house planet of being able to express yourself, of having fun, enjoying life. I know you're dealing with challenges now, but you know what I think we should do that would be fun here is go back and see what happened in your life when Jupiter was in Cancer, because that's going to happen again beginning in June, but going till June, roughly June of 2025. Those are estimated days, but I want to go back in time with you for a second and see what good thing happened. Back around 2013. Like July, August, especially, but anytime in there from like June, roughly June 2013 to June 2014. And so, and considering that it could have to do with finances. Oh, that was the timer already. It could have to do with finances. It could have to do with friends helping you solve problems, friends helping you pay things, like getting money to pay your bills or getting gift cards or getting okay, so then you say about the money I tend to spend, although not to go into debt. Yeah, okay. That's really kind of a normal thing for Mars in the 2nd. Sometimes you have to hide it from yourself. Like hide it in a savings account where you can't see how much is in there, because the second your mind knows, it's like it's already spent. Okay, so then, yeah, so back to what was happening in 2013 related to solving your problems. In 2013, do you remember? Do you want to share? If not, that's fine. But just keep in mind that that energy is going to be happening again with whatever kind of assistance you got, maybe from friends to help solve problems. It doesn't mean you have the same problem coming back, but that sort of positive energy around finances, or, you know, getting material support from others, or just getting a bonus or making more money or something like that. We're looking at that again, roughly August, but again, that's going to be June of next year to the following June. So I can't guarantee that everything will get better, but I would say if I was looking for a transit where my health might get better, I definitely would be optimistic if I had Jupiter in Cancer in the 6th, having a Jupiter return. So there's that. And then let's see if I can see any other, let's take the transits off. Any other blessings? I didn't even tell you about Venus, which you have a night chart, so Venus might even be better than Jupiter. Venus in the 3rd could be that you have a really nice soothing voice, or a nice, but it's an Aries, so it's like a soothing voice that will tell you what to do. Or like a nice way of motivating people with, or sometimes with the 3rd ruler and the 2nd, it's possible that the way you talk, write, or speak helps you make money, or is part of how you make your money. And Venus there making that better. Venus does rule your midheaven in the 9th. So communicating what you know, it's possible that could be part of what you do. Venus is also making Jupiter better. So again, this is a Jupiter that you have to look to be able to see, okay? Because if you don't see this Jupiter, you'll have a problem, you'll solve it really easily, and you'll just think your life is a bunch of problems. But when you see the Jupiter and you know how to look for it, you realize there usually with Jupiter in the sixth, you have a lot more solutions. So other people have problems too, but they don't get the kind of solutions to the problems that you'll get with this Jupiter. And I say that because I also have Jupiter in the sixth. And for a long time, I was like, nothing good happens. And it's like, actually, people give me stuff all the time. They give me clothes or they give me money. Like my family will people just give me money sometimes. Or like, I'll be at a restaurant and I'll get extra fries or so like sometimes Jupiter in the sixth, it's like, you have to look to see where you get those blessings, if that makes sense. And then back to Venus, I want to see if there's more on Venus for you here. I see Venus in a square to Neptune. So this is another one that can bring heightened compassion. It can bring a real loveliness. So even though Venus is in Aries, and the stereotypical Venus in Aries is like someone who wants to get on a motorcycle and enjoys the thrill of the chase. But with Neptune here, it really tones Venus down and calms her down. And Jupiter makes Venus better as well. So even though she's in her, she's not in her best sign she could be in, she's still getting a benefit from that contact she gets with Jupiter. And so that's going to show up in your career of maybe there's something exciting or daredevil-ish about what you've done in your career, or there's something independent or initiating about that, but initiating something lovely and poetic, or initiating something that's more magical and spiritual, or more geared toward women or something. But also Venus rules your fourth house of home. So it's like family or home could help like ease your mind a little bit. And this could have been when you were growing up, like you could have had parents who really gave you a lot of ways to think about things, or helped you learn how to start a business, or helped you learn how to think about the world and make sense of it, or even have family who have helped you get into certain jobs. If that doesn't apply, then that gift of Venus can be your own emotional foundation, or even, it's possible this could be something related to real estate. Sometimes it will be that, but it's more likely something about how you grew up and the way you think and the way you see the world that maybe has helped you in career, or helped you be more, did you have a really good sibling? Do you have a wonderful sister or something? Because that's another blessing that sometimes we can see with Venus in the third, is that your sibling will be really nice to you, or that sibling relationship is a supportive one. And that's a blessing. And sometimes it's cousins or aunts or uncles. So, and then with that contact with Jupiter, it makes me wonder if you've ever lived with your cousins, aunts, or uncles, or if they've ever helped you improve your life or solve your problems. And maybe not, that's fine. But either way, I would say gifts with this Venus are going to be probably more around the voice, the way of speaking, the way of coming across. And it's almost like you're telling people what to do or something, but you do it in such a nice way that they listen, or initiating conversations, or creating, sales copy, or doing something like that. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful friends that are like siblings. That can definitely be it. Yeah. Okay. So another gift of this Venus, and we'll stop there, is that people in your local environment are going to be nicer. And I know that might not seem like the biggest blessing in the whole world, but if you had bad planets here, you would just go around and people would be jerks to you everywhere you go. So the likelihood that on your commute, or when you're on your way to work, or when you're going about your daily activities from place to place, the likelihood that you're going to meet someone kind, or you're going to make a friend, or you're going to have a lovely conversation is very high when you have Venus in the third. And I knew there was something that I wasn't quite picking up on, and your comment reminded me of that. So that's one of the blessings of that Venus, is that your day-to-day activities in your neighborhood, maybe even your neighbors, are going to be really nice. And maybe they're the kind of people that would like legitimately bring you a pie over to your house or something. Okay, so we're going to stop there because of time. Thank you, Eliana, for booking a second one. This was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And I am going to now take down the link for today just so we don't get any more bookings after I close the video. And then I'm going to tell you guys about all the other stuff you can get from me. Okay, let me think. What am I doing? I am taking this. If you were watching this and you're watching the replay, yeah, so let's, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'll just, okay, if you're watching this and you're watching the replay, and you are sad that you did not get a reading and you're like just super bummed out about that, one of the things you can do is you can book a video with me. I have videos now, so you can go to my website. There's a link in the description, and there it says videos, recorded videos. You can book a recorded video to unlock your Jupiter, on your aligned career, on a few other topics, and that's another way that you can work with me. Also, right now, my Midheaven Persona chart readings are on sale. It's a really big sale. There's only 10. I think 3 or 4 have already been booked. I know at least 3. So if you want to get in on that, I highly recommend getting it now before that sale goes away. And I hope you guys have an amazing October. There's a ton of videos. There's an October monthly video if you didn't see that. There's also a eclipse. You can still watch the eclipses because they're valid for like 6 months. So you can go back and watch the September eclipse and the October eclipse for more insight onto the current energies. And I will see you beautiful souls in the next video. Bye, everybody.